My name is Officer Flores. I've been with SAPD for 4 years, and I'm assigned to the Traffic Unit, DOT. When I was, I'll say maybe weeks old, my parents decided to move to Monterrey, Mexico. That's where I lived until I was, 18. At which point I decided to move to the United States and pursue a career. I wanted to be in some type of public service. Actually, in fact, I volunteered at a fire department down in Mexico when I was about 15. Since I was little, everything that I wanted to do in life was just to wear a uniform, go out there and help people out. As cheesy as it sounds, I mean, it was the reality. I just really wanted to be a law enforcement officer. There was a lot of things that went in between that time. One of those, I was going to law school down there. I did law school for about a year and a half, but I decided at some point to go back to what I really wanted to do when I was little, and so I decided to make a change. I went down one night and told my parents I want to go to the U.S. They lost their mind. They were like, "What are you thinking? There's no family there, there's no friends, you don't know the culture, it's a complete different change of settings." And all of a sudden I switched out and I said, you know what, I don't want to get old and, say to my kids and grandkids that I didn't try out what I wanted to do and the goals and dreams that I had when I was little. And that's how I started just working things out so that I could move over to Brownsville. I actually went and stayed with my aunt and uncle for a couple of months. They helped me out big time. Started working different jobs like fast food restaurants and you name it. And then finally I had the opportunity of joining the Marine Corps. I'm in the infantry in the reserves. 123 Carlos Company is where I'm stationed at, Corpus Christi. I didn't know any English at all. I mean, other than the basic that you learn in school. They tell you that a door is a door and a window is a window, but the Marines have a completely different language. So we went from having a door to now being called a hatch, and we went from having a floor to now being called a deck. They completely threw my world upside down, and the little basic English that I had, I just couldn't understand what was going on. I had no clue what was going on. I remember when I came back from basic training from the Marines and I started joining my reserve unit, one of the recruiters from the Valley just happened to meet up with the recruiter at the time, which is Detective Torres now. She's the one that asked, "Hey, do you have any applicants?" Made these requirements, and they thought about inviting me to apply. I went through the process. 3 months later, I was already signing my paperwork, being appointed as a cadet. What's special about San Antonio, in my opinion, is just the diversity that we have. I always saw myself as, a Spanish speaker, primarily being that as a disadvantage. But when I came to San Antonio, I found that to be a huge tool that we can use every single day. Para mí, ponerme mi uniforme todos los días es un gran honor. El poder salir a las calles y ayudar a las personas en cualquier capacidad que podamos hacerlo, para mí es algo que tiene algo que no se puede comparar. Para mí, San Antonio se ha convertido en mi nuevo hogar. So at Standard Traffic, we have a unit. It's a small unit. It's a commercial vehicle enforcement unit, it's called, but we're commonly known as DOT. If you think about all the big rigs, all the 18-wheelers, heavy equipment, oversized, overheight, overweight, overload, all those things we regulate. They gotta be strictly regulated. My unit enforces federal and state law when it comes to regulations for commercial vehicle combinations. And we pretty much make sure that all those vehicles that are heavy and everything that's going on the road, they're as safe as possible when they're sharing the road with you. Well, an advice that I can give to anybody that's thinking or can be identified with me as having a disadvantage as opposed to somebody else in trying to accomplish some goals or dreams, I can just tell you, put in the work, put in the effort, do the best you can. And at some point, I can guarantee you that hard work and ethic is going to pay off and you're going to be able to accomplish anything you want.